When I heard the knock at the door, I just assumed it was Jake coming home. But obviously when I come downstairs and open the door, it wasn't Jake, it was two police officers standing on the doorstep. I didn't quite expect them to come in and say what they had to come in and say. Jake was he was a joker of the pack. He was always very loud. He knew so many people. His sisters absolutely loved him. They loved spending time with him. He was the fun big brother. His friends loved spending time with him. He was just literally the fun person to be around. He would always bring life and soul to wherever he went. I'd got the girls' bags packed. They went off to their dad's for the evening. And so I was home alone. I had dinner, watched some telly, and then went off to bed, waiting for Jake to come home after his night out.
Just after midnight, on the 25th of September 2021, Kane Gornall was driving his Fiesta on Whittam Road in Cressing with two passengers. Earlier that evening, Kane had been drinking and taking drugs. Within minutes of starting his journey, he was travelling at twice the speed limit. The officers arrived on scene and saw that the Fiesta had left the road and collided with a tree. It was evident from the extent of damage that this was a serious collision. Jake was one of the passengers in the vehicle. Tragically, he died at the scene. Kane Gornall tested positive for drugs and alcohol. He was arrested for causing death by dangerous driving.
When I heard the knock at the door, I just assumed it was Jake coming home. He was quite renowned for losing his keys, losing his phone, so it wasn't unusual to get a bang on the door in the middle of the night from him. But obviously when I come downstairs and open the door, it wasn't Jake, it was two police officers standing on the doorstep. My heart sunk because you know that the police only come round for something that's not good. I just assumed maybe there'd been a fight or some sort of accident. I didn't quite expect them to come in and say what they had to come in and say. They asked me if they could come in, and we went into the living room, and that's when they said to me that there'd been an accident, and unfortunately Jake hadn't survived that accident. And then that's when I then felt physically sick, and after that I kind of sort of shut off from what they were saying because I couldn't quite believe what I'd heard.
Incidents like this have a significant impact upon the families involved. Our Serious Collision Investigation Unit appoints specially trained family liaison officers to support the families through the investigation and the court proceedings.
Everything was just numb. We had to sort of obviously try and work out, we had to obviously contact everybody, had to go identify Jake. That was, something that I found quite hard. And then obviously trying to explain to his little sisters what had happened. So as a whole, it was a manic blur, really.
At the time of the collision, Jake and Kane were just 25 years old. Following a 2-year investigation, Kane Gornall was sentenced to 4 years and 8 months in prison for causing Jake's death by dangerous driving.
When we was in court listening to the sentence that the driver got, it was hard to listen to. I don't think a lot of our family and friends thought the same, that the sentence reflected the severity of what the driver had done that night, what he chose to do, and it was hard for quite some time afterwards, knowing that the sentence wasn't what I would have thought for such a severe act would need. That night, the driver robbed us of any future with Jake. He was only 25. He hadn't had a chance to live his life properly. Us as a family and his friends, we're never going to get to see him grow up, meet somebody, settle down, get married, have children of his own. And that's something that we all have to live with now.
Kane Gornall caused Jake's death through a combination of speed, drugs and alcohol. Jake's death was completely avoidable.
If you're watching this and you're thinking of drink or drug driving, please don't. It ruins lives.